Hello 7-8A and welcome to our first video on the flipped classroom. So the flipped classroom is an absolutely awesome strategy that we're going to be using this year, where I'll be sharing with you guys a math lesson where I'll kind of go into a concept or a strategy that I want to investigate the next day in class, and it gives you enough time to practice and get familiar with that concept, so when you come to class you can ask more insightful questions and you'll be ready to handle problem solving on a deeper level. So the very first thing that we're going to be covering in class are operations. So we have a fun activity tomorrow called 4 fours. And in order to play 4 fours, you're going to need to understand exactly what an operation is. So an operation are things that we use to modify or explain the relationship between sets of values. Here I have the value 10 and 2, and I've written 10 and 2 out 4 different times. And I've done that because there's 4 major operations. Now the operations that I think that you would be familiar with are addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So those are our basic operations in mathematics, and we can use it to describe the relationship between two sets of values or the relationship to something that's happening numerically. For example, if I were to say use addition and I were to say 10 plus 2, what I'm doing is I'm adding together these two values, 10 and 2. 10 and 2 equals 12. Subtraction works in the opposite direction, obviously. So here I have 10, subtract 2, and instead of adding these two values together, what I'm saying is, well, if you take this addend and you subtract this from it, number 2 from it, what would you end up getting? And it's pretty obvious right here. We can see that that would be 8. Multiplication. Multiplication is groups. So right now I'm turning around and I'm saying, okay, what if I had the value 10 and I had 2 groups of 10 times 2 groups of 10. And if I had 2 groups of 10, mental math tells me that that would be 20, so I can count forward, 10, 20. Lots of different strategies that we can use, not the purpose of this video though. And then the final basic operation that I'd love you guys to be familiar with is division. So here I have 10, and I'm going to divide 10 by 2, and 10 divided by 2 equals 5. So here's the really cool thing. 10 and 2 were the numbers that we were using, then based on the operation that we decided to use between those two numbers, we ended up getting 4 different answers. Now for homework, what I would like you to try to do is come up with your own pair of numbers, do the multiplication, subtraction, addition, and division between those two numbers, each of the operations, and when you come to school, what you'll do is you'll have something very similar to me.
Horace name, please come to the office. Horace.
But instead of having 10 and 2, you might have something like 20 and 5. That would be your homework. Please show that to me tomorrow, and I will see you all in class. Bye.